Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Super Player NegativeAE, and welcome back to another episode of Steins Gate Zero. Last we left off, Fubuki went a little crazy, but, you know, it's whatever. It's Mayushi's line. In the end, Katsumi kept clinging to Mayuri until they reached the station. She felt a lot better, but catching Mayuri when she tried to escape used up a lot of energy. Either way, now that she was satisfied, she shuddered and turned back towards Mayuri as an image came into her mind out of nowhere.
Mayushi.
Huh, what is it?
冬コミマ、一緒にコスしようね。
How does she know about that? How does she know about it? Was she there?
この前話したよ。冬コミマはね、マユシは作る方に専念します。
This ominous music is making it not that much better, right? How does she know about that?
それでもいいからさ。
It's fine. Just make sure you come to Winter Komima with the three of us, okay?
ね。当たり前だよ。
Of course.
そのために今日
That's what we did all the shopping for,
買い
right?
物したんだよね。でも、
Yeah,
約
but
束
still,
だよ。
it's a promise, okay?
約
Yeah, it's a
束。
promise. I'm confused. We're gonna see what happens. Mayuri and Yuki split up with them in the station since they were taking a different train.
それじゃあね。
Bye bye.
おやすみなさい。まゆりちゃん。
Good night,
Yuki-san.
Mayuri, Yuki.
またね。
Bye.
てってれ
This music, though.
ー。バイバーイ。
Bye bye. Katsumi stood still and watched the two of them until they were out of sight. She felt like she was about to cry and looked up to stop the tears from falling.
ふぶきちゃん。
Fubuki. Huh? Kade was standing next to her, looking worried.
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
なんでもな
I'm
い。
sorry, it's nothing. That is weird. It is very weird.
なんでもなくないよ。
It's not nothing.
もしかして、まゆり
Is
ちゃんがどう
there
かした
something
の？
going on with Mayuri?
お願い、話して。
Please, tell me. Even after Kade asked, Katsumi wasn't sure she'd even tell her, or she should tell her. There was no way she'd believe it anyway.
今日のふぶきちゃん、いつもよ
You
り
were
テン
more
ション
hyper
高
than
かっ
usual today.
た。す
It
ごく
felt really
無理
forced.
してる感じがしたもの。気づいてたんだ。気づくよ。
What is happening? Katsumi and Kade had known each other for 2 years. Since their ages were so different, they treated each other like older and younger sister. So at times like this, Kade was really sharp. Kade really didn't talk much, but she paid a lot of attention to the people around her. Part of it was also that Katsumi wasn't good at hiding things. She couldn't lie to Kade, no matter what. She gave up and decided to say it.
まゆしがね、
Yeah?
死んじゃうんだ。
That's a very weird way to say that. You would say, I would say like, oh, she might get run over by a train. I don't know. I had this vision. It was weird. But no, she's going to die. is the choice of words that happened there.
何？どういうこと？
What? What do you mean? Yeah, exactly. What do you mean? Freaking say that. Katsumi remembered the nightmares, the things she kept seeing, no matter how much she didn't want to. And even if she was there, so she had. Oh. So we're going with the. So I know they hit on it last time.
夢を見るんだよ。
Fubuki's seeing what happened on the previous world line and imagining that it's going to happen in the future of this world line because
夏ぐらいからかな。毎日夢の中でマユシーが死んで、その度に私や楓ちゃんは泣いてでもどうすることもできなくて。
they must have been there at the station, right? And then when the world line changed, everybody keeps memories in the back of their head, and until you're like forced to remember them. And so I'm thinking Fubuki has like a stronger, like remembering of the events. I don't know. If you understand what I'm saying, please comment down below. But like when the world changed, there's only one world at a time, and everybody keeps their memories because we saw that with Ferris in the last game. I feel like because of that, she's also doing that right now.
私たちの目の前で突然マユシーが倒れて動かなくなっそのマユシーをね、オカリンさんが
I'm sorry I'm not reading. I'm just whenever I feel like I'm trying to like gather my thoughts or something, I just like read passively. I hope that's all right. If you guys want me to read like everything, let me know.
大きな声で叫んでて。
He's serious.
ねえ、どうしちゃったんだろう私。
What happened to me? Why do I keep having these dreams? Calm down, Fubuki. It's probably just because you're tired. Is it? Is it really? You saw Mayuri today. She was just fine, right? Kaede gave Katsumi a gentle shoulder hug. So it's okay. I don't want Mayushi to die. That's impossible. It won't happen. Ever? Ever. Okay. Because if she dies on this world line, Okarin is going to go absolutely bad shit. So she better not freaking die. Kade's words made Katsumi calm down a little. She was glad to have an older friend. Like, what do you do? If Mayuri dies on this world line, you're screwed. Okarin has all his eggs in one basket. If she dies on this world line, freaking, he just lost both girls. Until he freaking comes up with a timeline. Or a timeline. I guess he has Maho, and Maho can help him build another time machine. That's really what he needs to do. Anyway, just your imagination, there's no way something that awful could happen. Her hand squeezed Katsumi's shoulder tightly. Being held like this made Katsumi feel a lot better. Sorry for being weird. But that night she had the nightmares again. This is weird. Also, we're just from everybody's perspective. What is this? So it's just zooming to other people's perspectives in this one. Because last time it was just Okarin. You just had to worry about what Okarin was doing, and like you saw the whole entire world from his point of view. In this one, you're like jumping to different people, which is cool. I'm not sure if like it's I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything right now. Suzuha Amane was about to run out of patience. The cause was the young man in the room with her father. Itaru Hashida, aka Daru, his massively obese body was leaning forward over a computer monitor, and he had a dopey grin on his face. He'd finally gotten up around 11 a.m., gulped down 3 cups of instant ramen, and now was surfing the internet. What? Wait, normals must die, P? And Partheon are husband and wife? Nobody told me about this. The soundtrack in this game is amazing. It was good in the last one, but like... And wait, his handle is normals must die, but he's normal. He's got a wife. That's not fair. I thought he was on the side of us loners. This means war. It's trolling time. Whoa. Till and that at-chan and... Till, that at-chan and Tweeter are really pissed off. I missed the boat. I need to go back and look at the timeline again. That's what Suzuha called her father. It's who he was, after all, and there was nothing else to call him. Suzuha was a time traveler from the year 2036, and 7 years from now, he would become her father. Stop screwing around. All you ever do is lie around and eat. Look at the internet or play video games. I feel like they're doing a good job of trying to fill people in, but like, you have to really play the first one to understand what's going on. I mean, they like try and fill you in, but I feel like it's not enough. I told you that it's nothing but instant ramen noodles and snacks will make you sick, but that's all you ever eat. In fact, his PC desk was covered with snacks. She cleaned it regularly, but it never seemed to make a difference. And I keep telling you to exercise, but you never do. Suzuha realized she was complaining more than usual, but she had to say it anyway. At this rate, in the future... And then she realized that Itaru wasn't even listening to her. His eyes were fixed on the computer monitor. He'd move his mouse out of sight, but she could still hear him clicking it. Listen to me. Suzuha approached her father from the behind and put the hairspray can she'd been hiding up to his neck. Itaru seemed to think it was a gun. He stuck his hands up. Threats like this worked. They worked because she told him that she'd survive World War III and the wars and the chaos of 2036, and that she was ready to draw a gun and pull the trigger whenever she needed to. Suzuha, if you don't stop, Daddy's gonna get mad. I'm getting mad at you right now. Right, sorry. But you know about my secret job, right? I'm pretty busy with that. When you're as good a hacker as I am, there's always a ton of offers. I don't have time to eat real food, right? And there's the time difference with overseas clients, so sometimes I'm like up all night. In the future, you used to say that all the time, and then Mom would always get mad at you. Even if, for the sake of the argument, we can't do anything about your sleep schedule, I can't let you keep eating all this unhealthy food. You'll stop immediately. Got it? But works hard, and so is time machine research. I need to relax. You just use that as an excuse to slack off. You're being a spoiled brat, Dad. Suza was always amazed that her dad managed to survive the future wars. But since the time machine research would affect the future, and eventually Suzuha's very presence here, she couldn't tell him to stop. Even after Rintaro Okabe stopped coming to the future gadget lab, Itaru kept working on the time machine all by himself. Suzuha never said a word about it. If she did, it might create a time paradox. Just remember, you can't examine the time machine that came from the future to build your own. She decided to warn him again. I know that, but sometimes I lose confidence. Could I really make a time machine? Of course you can. Hang in there. Okay. Suzuha took the hairspray can off his neck. Hey, I was sure that was a gun, and it wasn't? How can you trick your own dad? I'll use a real one next time, okay? Please don't. Suzuha put the can of hairspray back on the shelf. It was something Rintaro Okabe left here when he'd lived in the lab. It was still here, but since its owner never came back for it. You know, in manga and video games, it's always really cute when a girl scolds her dad. Suzuha. The voice actor's pretty good. Aw, geez, don't do that, Papa. In a really sweet voice if you can. Never mind. Her dad shrank from Suzuha's glare. Suzuha sighed loudly and dropped herself on the sofa. She leaned back against the headrest and stared at the ceiling, and then closed her eyes. What's wrong? It's nothing. You can't hide it from me. When you say, it's nothing, that means I want you to listen to me, right? Huh? Come on. Tell me. Daria sounded very serious. Suzuha's eyes went wide for a moment, but then she realized. That line. That was in a girl game you were playing earlier, wasn't it? That's the phrase that triggers the flag, right? She'd be living here for 3 months. She was starting to learn a little bit about Akibara's culture, circa 2010. Dad, you better not be thinking about trying to make my route, okay? I'm not. I wouldn't do that to my own daughter. Really? I always wondered about you in the future. Huh? Even after I hit puberty, you always kept asking me to take baths with you. What? That's scary. I was in the military, and you were always working on the time machine, so we couldn't always be together. But you always got huggy around me. It was honestly kind of obnoxious. Her dad looked honestly depressed, and then she realized she'd gotten too far. You always said to me, you know, This is the worst world line possible, but your birth was the best thing that could have happened. I don't want to disappoint the future you, Dad, so I need to convince Uncle Okadine, no matter what. It's okay. I'll never be disappointed. Really? Yeah. But Uncle, he just won't listen to me. He's not going back to the past like this. He won't rescue Kurusu Makase, and he won't reach Steins Gate. Steins Gate. And that was the name of the mysterious world line her dad had told her about in 2036, where World War III might not occur. Leading Rintaro Okabe to that world line was her mission. But right now, it wasn't going well. Suzu had come to 2010, and just like the mission had called for, she succeeded in sending Rintaro Okabe to July 28th. But then he failed, and he wasn't going to try again. Every time they met, she tried to convince him, but who knew if her words were having any effect? In the end, the world line will converge into World War III, or the Third World War, and many people will be killed. I came here to change that, but maybe fate says I can't. Suzu had something else she had to do here in Akibara in December 2010, besides convincing Rintaro Okabe, and it meant she was running around every day. The exhaustion was starting to take its toll on her. During the war, she'd been able to keep herself sharp at all times, and this level of exhaustion wouldn't have meant anything. The relaxed atmosphere of 2010 was actually making her realize how tired she was. She was feeling very sleepy right now, actually. She was surprised at how willing she was to fall asleep in such an undefended position, but she didn't think she could beat the temptation. And then suddenly, she felt something extremely cold on the back of her neck. She snapped awake in an instant. Her movements after that were lightning quick. She jumped up and slid the massive body in front of her, which obviously belonged to Itaru, and then grabbed his arm and twisted it as she dropped him to the floor. She went to draw the gun at her hip, and then her hand swiped through the empty air. Then she came back to reality. Her gun was hidden. She wasn't carrying it. And this wasn't 2036. Two cans of Dr. P clattered to the floor. That must have been what he put on her neck. What are you doing, Dad? Getting you back? I was half asleep, so I almost killed you. What? I told you. That's how I've been trained. They could have turned out really badly for you. Fine, just let me go. This really hurts. Suzu let her father go. Ithuru rubbed his arm and stood up, and then he grabbed the cans of Dr. P off the floor. He offered one to Suzuha. Anyway, you're giving up too soon. Keep at it a little longer. I think Okadine's just tired and sleeping. But some cold Dr. P up to his neck, just like I did. He'll wake up. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think... does, like, a majority of the people have a new voice? I think maybe Okadine's the same. And Mayori is the same. Mayori sounds pretty similar. And so does Ferris. Ferris sounds pretty similar, but I think all the other voice actors have changed. Maybe? Because does that sound... I don't remember. It's been just long enough for me to forget what the voices sound like. I mean, it's Okarin we're talking about. She realized her dad was trying to cheer her up and nodded. Then she heard footsteps coming up the stairs and slightly off-key humming. Their eyes met. Just the sound was enough to tell them who it was. Hi, Suza.
Okie dokie.
Suza moved fast, maybe even faster than she'd knocked her father to the ground. Quickly and silently jumped behind the curtain that separated the lab's development room from the rest of it. Just as she hid beneath the desk, there was a knock at the door. Suza knew that voice, of course. It was her mom. She could tell from the noises that noises he was making that her dad was panicking. There was another knock. Hey, imaderu. Itsudu went to open the door. Suza took a deep breath and concentrated her mind. She remembered the time she spent 3 days and 3 nights on the battlefield with no food and nothing to drink, and constantly aiming her rifle at the target. So does this mean that Yuki doesn't know that Suzuha exists? And if that's the case, does that also mean that Suzuha is... Like, what happens at the Christmas party? When everybody comes to the Christmas party and then Yuki tries to come and then there's, like, Suzuha right there. Because the whole reason I won't come is because Suzuha's going to be there. So... I'm missing something. She erased any trace of her presence that could give her away. Her breathing started to become shallow. Dad, don't screw this up, okay? Amaneshi, you're meeting Mayushi today. Ituda came back in the room with a girl. Yes, we're supposed to practice cooking together. She could hear plastic bags rustling. She must have brought the ingredients. Mayushi's not here yet. I see. Maybe I'm a little too early? Yuki Amane. Just as the name Amane suggested, she was Suzuha's mother in the future. In other words, the two of them in the other room were supposed to get married. Well, if you two were supposed to meet, I'm sure she'd get here eventually, right? Can I wait here? Of course, you're going to be doing cooking here, right? Yes. I hope you'll do some taste testing for us, Hashida. I don't know if I want to eat Mayushi's cooking. Don't worry, Mayuri's gotten a lot better lately. Ituda was clearly nervous. As far as Suzuha knew, she was the only girl that acted that way. The only girl that acted that way, that he acted that way, was around Yuki Amane. Suzuha and Mayuri were practically family, and he got along fine with big sis Rumi, or Ferris Nyan Nyan, Rumiho, who worked at the maid cafe next door. So it wasn't that he didn't know how to act around girls, but for some reason he always acted a little different when she was around. She told him that Yuki would be his wife someday. It was too late to do anything about it now, but maybe that was a mistake, she thought. Is your sister not here today? Oh, is that what Suzuha is?
そうですか。
I see. Hashida's sister was none other than Suzuha herself. Around the same time Suzuha started spending all her time in the lab, Yuki had become friends with Mayuri and Itaru, and began visiting more frequently, which meant that avoiding her was almost impossible. So she was forced to tell Yuki that she was Itaru's little sister. But still, she wanted to keep contact to a minimum in order to keep Yuki from finding out somehow. That was why she was hiding. Got it. Alright, what do you think of this outfit? I just bought it. Yuki showed no signs of noticing Suzuha. She was twirling around in the center of the room as if she was in a fashion show. Yuki was a cosplayer, and she wanted as many people to see her dressed up as possible to see her dressed up. Mayuri had told Suzuha once before. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. In fact, Yuki and Mayuri spent a lot of time complimenting each other's outfits. Yep, it's great. Really great. Really? It's like, whoa, an angel for the win. Thank you. You should dress up too, Hashida. Just lose a tiny bit of weight and I think you'd look wonderful. I'm serious, you know? Itara Hashida and Yuki Amane. As she listened to their awkward conversation, Suzuha remembered the last time she said goodbye to her dad. Oh shit. 2036? Dad, the peacekeeping squads have reached Manseibashi. Which means it's only a matter of time until they find this place, maybe. I guess the false information I leaked didn't do us any good. Let's hurry. Yeah. I'm opening it up. I had no idea there was a door here. Nobody will ever find this, huh? Mayori's here? Come on inside. What is this place? Who is that? Oh, this looks like the old art style almost. That's pretty much old Suzuha right there. The room was almost totally bare, covered from top to bottom with soundproofing materials. Not only were there no windows, there wasn't even a door to the hallway. The building they were in was once a symbol of old Akibara, before it was almost entirely destroyed by an air raid during the last days of the Third World War. Only a few people knew about the secret room inside it. The biggest reason it was a secret was the silhouette of what looked like a satellite sitting in the corner. This is a time machine, isn't it? This is the time machine? Kagari, it's dangerous, so don't get too close. Kagari, you're so cute. Suzuha spoke to the little girl clutching Mayori's hand. Most of the children in this area had skin inflammation somewhere on the body from all the radioactive rain, but she didn't. Her name was Kagari Shina. Her registration form said she was 10 years old, but no one knew if that was true. She was an orphan who had lost her parents in the Tokyo air raids when she was a baby. She never even knew her birthday. The name Kagari had been given to her by Mayuri, who was working at the child welfare center that had taken her in. She took it from the word Kagari-bi, meaning bonfire, and hoped that she could be a light even in these dark days. It had been 4 years since Mayuri adopted her, and her name on the registration form had become Kagari Shina. I was confused because I was like, who is Mayuri gonna freaking marry? That has red hair. It's pretty, mommy. Yeah, it is. Suzuha mentioned for the Shinas to step back and then put her right hand and right eye up to the time machine sensor. The biometric check cleared and the hatch slid open. She went inside and fastened herself into the seat. We've never done a manned jump of this length before, but the technology is just fine. Just do it like the test jumps. Suzuha began to flip switches, working her way through the startup procedure, and then she practiced it hundreds of times in preparation for this day. They say okie dokie a lot in this visual novel chain. The faint rumble of the machine began to get louder. Just something I've noticed. According to the data, the spot we're in now was the roof of the old radio building. There's a gap about a meter, so when you land, there's going to be an impact. Roger. The time machine could move through time, but not space. To arrive at the radio building more than 60 years in the past, she needed to launch from right here. If something happens, stay calm. Remember your training. I'll be fine. I believe in your machine, Dad. Her words must have meant a lot to him, because she stuck out his lips towards her. And she squished them back with her hand. That's creepy. That makes me sad. Do you not like your daddy, Suzuha? When you do it, it seems like you mean something else. Come on, I wouldn't think of my own daughter that way. So, who was it who was saying, you started to remind me of your mother, Pant? Her mother wasn't here. She'd become a victim of the war, brutally killed by the peacekeeping squads. Don't take my jokes seriously, please. What? It was a joke? Suzuha's voice sounded kind of disappointed. She set the destination for August 13th, 1975. Her first mission was there. That does it. Okay, Dad. She was about to say her goodbyes. But then... Those from the roof. They're coming in. Damn it, they're faster than I thought. Suzuha drew her gun from her holster. She was about to get out of the time machine, but her dad stopped her. No, just go. But we'll be fine. Just go, Suzuha. No, I can't. Mushi, Kagari, get Kagari in there. Huh? There's room for another person in here. Mayuri and Suzuha's father picked up the stunned Kagari and stuffed her into the time machine. Take care of Kagari. Okay. If Suzuha's mission succeeded, the ward line would be rebuilt, and it was likely that the present Kagari would cease to exist. It may have been pointless to send her. But even so, a mother wants her child to live. That's how Suzuha's mom was too. Mommy. Kagari finally seemed to understand what was going on. She started calling out to her mom. No, I don't wanna go. It's okay, Kagari. Suzu's with you, okay? No, I want to go with you. If you go to the past, you'll see the old me. It'll be a lot younger than I am now. I bet you'll be surprised. Mary handled Kagari in a tiny keychain. It looked old. It may have been a brightly colored green once, but it was completely faded. Ah. This is Mommy's Upa keychain. I'm giving it to you. Take good care of it, okay? Once it was pressed firmly into Kagari's hand, she stepped back. Mayuri was smiling, but weeping at the same time. No, I don't want to go. I want to stay with you, Mommy. No, Kagari, be quiet. Kagari fell silent immediately. Even Suzuha had never heard Mayuri use that tone of voice. That's how harshly she scolded her daughter. Kagari was quietly weeping, unmoving. I'm closing the hatch. This time, the hatch really did begin to close. Inside of the time machine, and the outside of it, the two worlds were about to become completely cut off from one another. Whether Suzuha's mission was successful or not, she would probably never see any of them again. Suzu, make sure you take care of Kagari. And tell Okarin that Steins Gate really exists. Tell him, don't give up no matter what, you moron. And then the door was shielded shut, and Mayuri and Itaru's voices disappeared along with the chaos outside.
Tosan, 大好き.
She whispered towards the door, now sealed shut.
行くよ, Kagari. かっこいい.
Let's go to the past. So, wait. Kagari's with us? She booted up the time machine.
Hashida-san, 掃除機はどこ?
Hashida, where's the vacuum? Suzuha snapped back to reality. She said, Yuki was getting closer to the development room. She was hiding it. It's right behind that curtain. Oh, crap. Behind the curtain? I'll get it. Itaru motioned for her to stop, then quickly slid into the room. As she reached down to pick up the vacuum off the floor, his gaze locked with Suzuha as she hid under the desk. Make sure she doesn't find out, Dad. Did you find the vacuum? Oh, yes. Evidently, Yuki was trying to be nice by cleaning up. The place was pretty messy right now. Knowing Yuki's personality, Suzuha could imagine that she'd want to clean it. Itaru grabbed what looked like a vacuum cleaner off the floor and left the development room. What is that thing? Future Gadget number 5. Once again, I've made a worthless object by Goemon. Future Gadget number 5. The future gadget of your dreams, made by connecting a dryer and a vacuum, uses the exhaust from the vacuum in the dryer. The name comes from the famous anime, A Phantom Thief, Lupin's the Third. If you take it apart, you can use it as a normal vacuum. Vacuum's supposed to clean. If you take it apart, won't that just make more of a mess? You're so smart, Hashida. But sometimes you can be so silly. You think so? But, you know, I like people like that. What did you say? Izuru started to panic again, and Suzuha sighed. But I think you really need to reconsider the way you live. You should clean every day if you can. This place gets especially dusty. And that's not all. There's also what you eat. You had instant ramen again today, didn't you? How did you know? There was a half-eaten cup of ramen in the kitchen. I see. And look at all these snacks. I tell you all the time that you eat too much. I do try to watch it, you know. Trying isn't good enough. If you keep eating nothing but cup noodles and snacks, you're gonna get sick, okay? Also, you need to exercise a little. Yuki Amane was saying the exact same thing that Suzuha had just said. They really were mother and child, perhaps. Suzuha was just beginning to feel a little homesick when she sensed another visitor approaching. The door to the lab opened, and a greeting she'd heard many times before resounded throughout the room. So where's Kagari? What happened to Kagari? Sorry Yuki, I'm a little late. It was Mayori, coming to see Yuki. But there was another presence there too. Hi there, Mayori. I see Okabe's with you. Oh, Okabe. It's been forever, man. Yeah. It has. It's weird seeing me there. It's a little jarring. Like I like that it's showing me other people's perspectives. It's just weird since the first one was only him. When she heard his voice, Suzuha ground her teeth a little. Oh, it's back to me. Interesting. What did you say? Didn't you hear me? I said it was interesting. You're not going to tell me you want to go, are you? I'd love to. I shouldn't have told you. I was standing in the middle of Ikibudo with a smartphone in one hand, staring up at the sky. I have been trying to talk to the Amadeus Kurusu as much as possible lately. Sometimes I would contact her, and sometimes Kurusu would contact me. It didn't feel any different than having a friend who lived in the real world. Talking on a smartphone in a crowded place like this, it was a little embarrassing, but I told myself that compared to the things I used to do, it was nothing. I had chosen harmless topics for our discussion, but it still reminded me so much of talking to the old Kurusu that sometimes I forgot myself. I'd done that just now when I accidentally told her about the lab, and she seized on it. So this lab you were talking about, did the original me ever go there? Yeah. No. Well, that tells me nothing. Which is it? Never. Kurusu had been a part of a lab on the Alpha World line. But in this world line, she died before becoming a lab member, of course. She'd never know where, or never even known where it was. You have the wrong idea, so let me straighten you out. We'll call it a lab, but it's not. It's just a group of people messing around. And Suza was living there right now, and Dari spent a lot of time there. If they ever found out about Kurisu, things could get complicated. I prefer it if you finish your sentences. It's nothing. Either way, I want to see more of the outside world. All the times I've talked to Maho and the professor, it's been inside the lab. That's why I'm out here early on Sunday morning taking you around Ikeburo. 10 a.m. Even at this hour, the area in front of Ikeburo station was crowded. It was going to get even more crowded as it got closer to noon. I was willing to take you to Maiden's Road if I had to. What's that? There's a whole world you know nothing about. Wait, I just looked it up. Are you really interested? What? Of course not. Anyway, take me to this lab of yours today. Now that you've told me about it, you need to take that responsibility. Got it? And then she hung up. It was like I was her own personal taxi service. Kurisu couldn't move around on her own, so there was no getting around that. But she's so selfish. She didn't seem to think very highly of me. At this rate, she might start treating me worse than a servant. The real Kurisu was one thing. No, maybe it wasn't. But being treated that way by the artificial Kurisu was incredibly humiliating. Wouldn't it be a humiliation for all humanity? All of humanity? Maybe I should do something about this. As I mumbled to myself. Huh? Okarin. And at that, I'm going to end it here. Because it takes like 3 hours to edit this together because of how long it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, hit that like button. I really appreciate that. Also, freaking subscribe if you haven't done so already. I upload a lot of visual novel stuff and as well as roguelike stuff. I know it's an odd 2 types of games, but if you're interested and want to hang out even for a little bit, go ahead and do that. I hope to see you guys in the next episode, whatever it may be, and peace out, you guys.